Right. There was supposed to be another slide before this. I was losing my voice when I was coming here, so if I have Barry Manilow moment, just excuse me. The topic is we don't need more data, and one of the reasons I believe that to be the case is the explosion of data is really coming from the web. But now when you have IoT devices coming up, the kind of data that we're getting is fundamentally different, and it's going to require a retooling of our technology. And we believe that it's not really going to be about having large volumes of data. It's actually going to be about insights. Insights are about why the data is saying what it's saying. What does it mean? And what do I need to do about the data that I've been gathering? And in order to get insights, you need a different kind of data. If we're going to train algorithms, if we're going to look at data and try to derive meaning from it, it's not going to be about unstructured data or clicks and so on and so forth. It's really going to be about creating data sets which we can use to train. But here's an interesting paradox. If we're going to try and create insights, when I look at humans, especially myself, you give me more data, in my case it's probably exponential, my analytical ability is going to drop. Give me more and more, and I'll probably make less and less sense out of it. You take machines, for example, you give more data to machines, and they'll just keep on keeping on. They're just going to get and do the analysis and the aggregations that they can, no matter what kind of volume you throw at them. Interestingly, if you combine these two things, if you combine a human's ability with the machine's capability to crunch data, you're going to come up with these two zones. I call one's on the cognitive ability, less amount of data, I can still make sense out of it, large amounts of data, and I'm just going to process that, a data crunching zone. The intersection is this productivity point, where you've got the best of both worlds. But the key is that how do we improve this productivity point to solve big problems of our times today, climate change, energy, food, for instance. We're not going to wait for evolution. We can, however, try to teach machines to become a bit more cognitive. And if you are able to train machines and algorithms to become better, and I do apologize to Star Trek fans, it could be very interesting in shifting the productivity point. The second thing is machines don't ask questions, humans do. In fact, if you give humans more data, they're going to ask more and more questions. So let's say that we're able to combine these two things, analytical ability with reasoning, to understand why, what's really going on, is what we would call insights, or what I call insights. There's another thing that is happening in this world today. There's this new technology called deep learning. Some of you might have heard about it, which is enabling machines to try and learn and become cognitive things. AlphaGo from Google, for example, is now the best Go player in the world. It beat the resident grandmaster. Microsoft launched this thing called Tay, which was a chatbot, used deep learning to respond to humans, went horribly wrong, became abusive, 30 seconds later, had to be taken down. We do the same thing for cows. We take sensor data, we generate insights for farmers, because they said no more data. Tell us what's really happening with my herd, what's happening with my animals, to try and improve food security and try to involve them in the loop. So we brought the farmers into the loop to try and learn from them, to try and bring the human into the loop of what we're doing with sensor data. And we're finding some really interesting trends coming out of this, because we're able to now predict what's happening with the health of their herd, try and predict what's happening with food security in their farms. And we think we can apply this to different industries. This could be really, really useful for us in the future to try and solve some of the big problems of our times. Thank you very much.